Well, sometimes it's just releasing that actually gives the feelings like so much less power.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we hold on to so much, and it's different for everybody, however you want to express yourself or whatever outlet you have. For me, writing like makes it have less power in my head. It's the way to kind of let go, move on, and accept it.
Welcome back to another episode of 30, Flirty, and Surviving. I'm Tracy. Everything going on with the show is on Instagram at 30, Flirty, Surviving, and new episodes drop every Monday at 9 a.m. on iHeart, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. As a reminder, like, rate, subscribe, comment, share, anything you possibly can. Leave a review, whatever you'd like, but just keep engaging, okay? Thank you well in advance. So today, I have a real treat for you guys, All of my girls and boys in the Boston area who are in this wonderful age group in our 30s, I think you know the struggle. The weekend comes and you're looking for a place to go out, and then you're always sort of torn between choosing a good meal and a good experience versus having some fun. It's sort of hard right now because you don't want to go to Southie with all the frat boys, and you want to go somewhere where like you can enjoy a good dinner but also have a good time and mingle. And it's just difficult finding places with people I think our age, and just knowing where those hot spots are. The city's always changing. Say less, because I have Ayla and Alyssa here with me today from Hoots and Cahoots. It's like the universe heard our prayers and they have answered them. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having us.
So to give everyone a little bit of a background, you two have been friends for over 10 years, right?
Yeah, over 15.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Dang. Yep. And you currently live in the city?
Yes. We both live in
Southie. that wonderful place you were just mentioning.
So sorry. It has been 30 seconds and I've already insulted my guests. I think we'll just wrap up here. It was a really great time. We'll see you guys next week, okay?
No, we're all in full agreement of the Southiness.
It's a little hard. It's a little hard in that area. You know, I mean, the Locos, the Lincolns of the world. I think that
gotta love them, but, you know, enough.
Yeah, they had their day in the sun, you know?
Yeah,
but
they were awesome when we were 22.
Precisely. But it's still a great area town, for sure. Yeah. So, no offense. I apologize. But so tell me a little bit about sort of how you guys met and how you started Hoots and Cahoots and what it is for people at home who don't know.
Yeah. Well, we met in high school. Ayla was dating a boy that I liked.
You were dating a boy? What's wrong with you?
And I hated her so much. And then she was just the nicest person in the world. So instantly we became best friends. She was like, why don't we just be friends? And I was like, wow, like I'm such a bitch. Like I should be more like you. And then the rest is history. We just started hanging out, and I slept over her house one day and I never left.
We just moved in.
Yeah.
We really hit it off. We started working together. My mom had a store at the time, and that was where Hoots and Cahoots really got stared.
Yeah, we were in Cahoots for a long time. The store was one of the first places that we were in Cahoots, and we would get yelled at and pulled apart. Her mom used to like put us on separate sides of the store.
Oh my gosh.
We would just be like
it's like in grade school when you like can't sit next to your best friend because all you guys do is talk in class.
Yeah. But we're like 16 years old.
Right. I love it. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard of Hoots and Cahoots, you can look at them up on Instagram. It's just at Hoots in Cahoots. And where did the name itself actually come from? Just to give them a little bit of background at home. Like, I mean, you're saying you guys have already sort of been in cahoots for a long time. So was it just a natural fit, or?
I feel like we have old souls, and like it's just like kind of like, you know, an old phrase, like they're in cahoots.
Yeah.
Or those are a couple of hoots.
Yeah.
And we always just kind of use that phrase to like describe people we thought were funny or entertaining.
Like
and
they're such a hoot.
They're such a hoot. He's such a hoot. And then we realized that was just kind of the perfect name. I I feel like a lot of accounts today have like the, you know, the obvious type of names, but it seems like super unique to us. And we've been saying that we're a couple of Hoots for so long, and we were like, Hoots and Cahoots. Who the hell cares if it makes sense? We'll make it make sense.
Yeah. I love it. It's so fun. So you guys on this platform that you've just recently started, you've been giving everyone that follows you sort of a glance into the food and beverage options, the restaurant options in the Boston area. So you're always giving recommendations on what to eat, where to go, what different places are good for different sort of outings. So I want to get into all of that because I think that people at home need help. But before I do, I want to ask you a couple just sort of initial questions, some icebreakers so we can get to know you guys. So first off, tell me each of your ages. So Alyssa, I'll have you start.
30, flirty, and surviving.
Yay!
And I'm 28.
Okay, perfect.
Almost there.
Yeah, you're close. What are your current relationship statuses?
Single.
I'm in a relationship
How long have you been in a relationship for?
for almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's a constant. We're going to keep him around for a little
He's a
bit.
keeper.
He's
like
paid
him.
his dues so far.
Yes.
Do you girls know your zodiac signs?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
Scorpio.
Ooh, some water signs. Okay, I like that. You guys,
Yeah.
that shows me why you're so compatible. You must have a lot of commonalities there. And what inspired you to get this started? I mean, we talked about where the name came from. Obviously, you've been friends for a long time. Were you feeling sort of the same struggle or hearing from your group or your friends that people just felt a little lost in where to go?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of resources out there, but, you know, and it's no hate to like food blogs, but a lot of food blogs only really show like the places that pay them, and it's not really about the experience. It's like, I'm just going to show a restaurant because they're paying me, and I don't like the food. Maybe I don't like the atmosphere. I'm just going to post it. Like, we want to actually say, this is where you go if you want to take a first date. If you're actually serious about a girl and you want to take her here on a 6th date, this is the place to go. If you want to go out with a group of friends, there's, you know, it's not just about like the best food places. It's also the food and the experience.
Yeah.
It's combining that, and it's dinner, drinks, and dating is kind of like our main focus.
Yeah, we definitely saw a gap there, and with both of our experience in the restaurant industry and living in the city for the past 10 years, we were like, why not give it a shot and, you know, put our experience out there and make the best of it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are also like going to these places firsthand. Like, you're giving us visuals. You're detail oriented. Like, it's just so helpful. Honestly, it's so helpful.
Thank you.
Because it definitely shows, to your point, like, I know when you're telling me to go because you got a check versus you actually go there yourself. You know what I mean? It's just very obvious.
That's all it is. It's like, you know, this is the type of place you want to go on a Friday night with a large group. This is the place you want to go in an intimate setting where you can talk to the person in front of you. It's like those little details that totally make the difference, I think.
That's so true. I didn't even think of
And
that.
I
It's
mean,
like being part of the thing.
We were going out to eat so much anyway,
We-
so like,
yeah,
why
we
not make it even more fun than it already is?
Do you ladies each have a specific type of food, like Mexican, Italian, that you like most?
We like it
Probably,
all.
I mean, I love it all. Italian, sushi, I
Yeah.
would say are my top
Sushi,
two.
Japanese, Asian fusion. Yeah.
All the above. Well, we're not too picky. We'll try anything.
Not picky at all.
No,
Okay.
I think I was picky when I was younger, but yeah. Like, I feel like the more you try, you actually are like, why was I ever picky? Like, everything's good.
Yeah. And then, of course, you live in Southie. We've covered that. But do you have a area of town that is your favorite?
There's so many. I feel like we like the seaport,
Yeah,
obviously.
Seaport.
There's
How
lot
can
of
you not
water.
love the seaport?
I know. It really,
But-
truly is great.
I feel like every area within Boston has its own like little gem that you can
Yeah.
go to, and
Yeah.
there's good restaurants everywhere. You just gotta know them and find them.
There's
That's
certainly
what we're here for.
Yeah.
pros and cons to everything. I love that. And then, do each of you have a favorite cocktail?
Ooh. I mean, it probably looks bad that I'm like, there's so many. Probably a extra dirty martini.
Gotta love a dirty.
Yes.
But espresso martini, too.
Yeah.
Do you like your espresso martini creamy or dreamy?
Dreamy.
Ooh, okay. You know, you had me on the dirty, but I would have gone creamy. Creamy. But that's okay.
Teach
okay.
their own.
Yeah, exactly. And when you guys are choosing these restaurants, you're starting to showcase them on your account and writing up about them and all this stuff. How much market research is going into it beforehand? Are you guys sort of just, is it foot traffic and, oh, you see this new place and it's a reminder to go there? Are you looking up things in advance? How do you figure out where to go?
Yeah, I feel like, there's nothing hidden anymore with social media.
Yeah.
So it's really just like researching on your own. I feel like we're connected enough. We both, the experience comes from working in the restaurant industry for years. We both worked as waitresses and bartenders and bottle girls. We did it all. So
yeah, you're familiar with the Big Night family, isn't that right?
I worked for Big Night for a few years. Shout out to Red Lantern, Gem, and the estate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A professional, a seasoned vet.
So some history here.
I love it. Okay, well, I want to get down into it with some of your recommendations. So I want all of you guys that are listening right now, grab your notepads. This is going to come in handy at a later date, I promise you. I want to name like an occasion and then have you girls give me your recommendation in terms of the restaurant itself, why you like it for this reason, and then your favorite thing to sort of order off the menu to give people some tips in advance. So if I was wanting to go out for a girls' day, say like brunch, like I want to do a Sunday fun day with the ladies, what would be your recommendation?
Well, if it was a few years ago, we would have said Gem. We would have said Gem Brunch.
R.I.P.
But in 2022, I feel like we'd probably say 6 West, especially with the nicer weather. I feel like you just can't get over like the scenery. It's really big on the rooftop, and it's just the best views of Boston. And
where is 6 West?
In Southie.
Okay, we're starting off strong, ladies and gents. Starting off strong.
But it's pretty new.
It's in the new Cambria Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's right on the line of like Fort Point.
It's in Fort Point, okay? Don't get it twisted. It's in Fort Point, okay? And so we love it because of the views. You love the cocktails. What are you ordering off the menu there?
We really love the Big Deck Energy is one of their cocktails. They have
sounds like a Southie name, to be honest.
They have so many great cocktail names, but can't go wrong with the mushrooms either.
Oh.
The tacos are good
too. Tacos are good.
Love some tacos. Okay, awesome. Girls' night. We're painting the town. Okay. Where are we going?
Gotta be.
I'd say dinner at Yvonne's is always, you can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong.
Yes.
Those chicken meatballs are phenomenal.
Oh,
you're making me hungry.
I dream about those often.
I do too. And then, I guess it depends what you're looking to do after, but if you're looking to have a night out on the town, you can never go wrong with the Grand, or you could just head down.
Amen, sister.
Go over to Mariel, go into the basement.
Yes.
It's always a fun time.
It's so nice down there.
It really
even
is.
Upstairs at the bar,
or,
too.
The bar is gorgeous. You can grab drinks, have something a little more casual, or if you're looking to really get after it, go down into the basement, to the underground, I think they call it.
I like it. You get a little bit of everything because it's still loungy, but it gets rowdy down there.
It's like the perfect combo of like a club-y, loungy type place.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds because you can go up and like upstairs it's very classy and like you can just have easy breezy time, and then once the 4th cocktail goes down,
go on downstairs,
zoom on there.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. And then did I ask you about thing in the menu? I know you said chicken meatballs. What about Mariel?
The shrimp is great there. All of the large formats that they have at either Yvonne's or Mariel are amazing, especially if you're going with a group. So you're with a group of girls. They have, off the top of my head, there's a few different selections.
You haven't memorized it?
They have a viper chop at Yvonne's.
The viper chop, yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. What would be your number one recommendation for people that are single and looking to mingle? So not just like going to have a good meal. It's like, I want to meet a man's tonight. Where am I going?
I think, honestly, Empire is something that comes to my mind just because the bar is so big, and I feel like you can, like, there's, like, the lounge in the corner, so, like, you can almost, like, people watch whether you're at the bar or the lounge, and it's just, like, it's, like, the, you know, you have the liveliness of the restaurant, so it's, like, not as, like, awkward, even if you're just standing around, like, looking, like, it's easier to, like, mingle in that environment because there's so much going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
And they'll have a good DJ playing.
Yeah, good music.
They might have a good DJ playing. What do you think about that, Hurley?
I think that's very accurate.
Hurley DJs there sometimes, guys. Shout out to Hurley. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going there to mingle with Hurley and listen to his good jams, right? Eventually he'll come around to me. But in the meantime, let's talk date night. So I think that there's a difference between date night meaning first date versus date night in a relationship.
Huge.
Right?
Huge difference.
Before we go into the recommendations, what is the biggest difference? For guys, like, you need to listen to this. Why does it matter where you take a girl on a first date?
Well, I think sometimes, like, if you take a girl on a first date, like, if you're taking her somewhere, like, super nice, it might send, like, a weird message. If it's, like, the first or second date, they might think it's more serious than it is. So I think you have to find the balance between, like, nice but casual. Also, like, first dates can be awkward just naturally. It doesn't mean you're, like, a weirdo or you're awkward. It's just naturally they can be awkward. So
or maybe you are.
Or maybe you are. So I think it's good to have a place that's, like, lively enough that, like, if there is some silence, like, there's a lot going around you because it's, like, less awkward and it can kind of ease the tension.
I love that. Yeah, like, if there's that little bit of awkward silence,
right,
you have things to talk about, not just like, oh gosh, what am I going to say next? Or this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. Okay, and then what about, like, in a relationship? What do we need to know when you're going on date nights with your beau, your SO?
So I think it depends what kind of date night you're looking to get into.
Tell more.
So if you're looking to, just go grab a casual bite to eat, or it's like a fancy date night and you're like, I want to have fun, I want to go dance, maybe go to the bar after you sit down for dinner. I think that's the real differentiator.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I love Nautilus. Big fan of Nautilus.
Okay.
I think they have amazing food. The duck fucks.
It totally fucks.
That is incredible.
It is incredible. And then their bar is amazing, too. You can go grab great cocktails after. That's one of my favorites. But I think if you're in a relationship, it really just depends what night you're looking at.
Yeah, I think you want to spice it up, too. You want something that's, like, not like the everyday. Like, you want it to be unique.
Like, there's nights where I'm like, I just want to go grab a casual bite to eat. Could go, could go to Capo. Could go to, like, somewhere more casual, even outside the city, like Bistro 5 in Medford's great.
Like, on a first date, I'm not going to go to Endless Pasta Night, right? Because I'm probably only going to have one plate.
Right.
But if I'm with a boyfriend, your girl can throw back 3 different types of pasta,
Or, love a night at Grill 23.
Oh,
yeah.
The steak's amazing. The dirty martinis are top notch.
When you guys order your dirties, do you say, like, extra dirty, like, make it filthy? Do you make it uncomfortable when you put your order in? Because I do.
I don't. I like it just dirty. I'm not really.
Yeah, usually I'm like extra dirty, filthy, and then they're like, okay, and then she orders one, and they're like, you too, and she's like, no, I'll just have the regular one.
She's like straight vodka with a scent of olive.
Exactly.
Okay, so what would be your recommendation then, Alyssa, for a first date for a guy and a gal in the city?
I've been on so many.
Do you feel a tendency to make the recommendation, or do you leave it in his hands?
So I actually like when he makes the recommendation. I'm usually like impressed by that. Like, I don't want him to, like, put it on me. I want him to have the knowledge. So guys, like, it's good to know.
This is why you need to listen to this episode.
It can be a turn on to actually, like, know and kind of take the initiative. Barcelona is great in the South End. They have a great selection of tapas. So, like, you're not, like, pressured to, like, overeat almost. You're, like, kind of, like, sharing, and there's always lively music. There's a huge bar. It's just, there's no awkward silence. Even if there is silence, like, it's not going to be silence because there's so much going around you. And then if it turns out good, Beehive's right next door, and they have live music and a great bar too. So.
Okay. We've got lots of options.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Okay, anything that we haven't covered out of either occasions, maybe if there's an event, like this time in our lives too for the girls, like there's bachelorette parties, there's bridal showers, anything like that that's like an honorable mention you would like to shout out?
I mean, Envoy is another great place, I feel like, for groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just redid their roof deck and closed it, and it's fun up there.
Ooh.
Good vibes.
We love a rooftop.
I live on the South Shore, so I admit I don't come into the city very often, primarily just to record this podcast. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, you guys are literally making me feel like I live in Minnesota because I have not been to half of these places. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great.
Now we'll have to go together.
Yes, please. I promise I'll come to Southie with you if you want me to.
Please. Glad we can be your exception.
Yes.
We can just meet there, then we'll get out.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Speaking
now you're thinking.
now?
Yes. Okay, I love it. All right, awesome. And then anything that like differs through the seasons?
I mean, yeah, winter sucks here. It's
True.
Cold,
it can,
it's windy.
but I do think like the North End, like you really cannot go wrong in the North End, especially in the winter and in the summer. Now that there's like outdoor seating and such, you know, I feel like it's like cozy enough that especially in the winter, it's so nice to go to the North End. Brico, Carmelina's, if you can get a reservation, there's like 10 people.
Keyword if.
Yeah, the restaurant fits like 10 people. And
it does.
I'm like not even exaggerating, but it's so
amazing.
good.
Outside of the North End, good Italian, Sorolina, can't go wrong.
A lot of people
It is
don't know
amazing.
about Sorolina.
The bar it's beautiful inside.
It's fancy. We like the fancies.
It is.
All right.
We do like the fancies.
Why not? Okay, freaking-tastic. So now we're gonna move on. I do have one more question though. This is kind of a curveball for you.
Ooh.
If not talking restaurants, do you guys have a sort of second go-to for a date night?
Oh yeah.
Like if you're not doing dinner and drinks, are you
Sports.
an activities, a game? Yeah, like what would be these guys need help out there.
I mean, they can win. They can bring a girl to a Bruins game or a Celtics game. Like it's, you know, get good seats and everybody's happy.
At least decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the environment, I feel like at the Garden, it's a great, whether it's a first date, third date.
Yeah.
You've been in a relationship for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's never going to be awkward at the Garden.
No.
Well, to like your point earlier, it's something to look at. So it's there's not this pressure of I have to maintain conversation for a straight 2-3 hours. Like we're watching the game, we're making little comments here and there. There's people watching, which we all love. There's something to get excited about. And even if you aren't a huge sports fan, it's still just the atmosphere and the
100%.
environment. Yeah.
Like I don't know, we're kind of bandwagon fans. I'm definitely more of a bandwagon fan. But like I love going to a game. You just can't not love the atmosphere and like even pretending like you know what you're talking about. It's the best.
Alyssa goes online beforehand. She's like, who is on the starting lineup? What is a field goal?
A hockey puck.
I love it. And also, not to mention, it's really great to be able to just dress casually. And you get to bake that in there. Because I think that dressing for a first date or first couple of dates in a new relationship can be a challenge. I've talked about this. I was asking one of my guests, Marky P, before I was mentioning him earlier, but I had him be my like guinea pig and ask him all these questions for guys. And I think that it's so hard because you don't want to show like you care and you tried super, super hard, but you want to look nice. So a sports game's so nice because you can be cute and casual and just comfortable. It's so convenient.
It really is.
I love it. Do you have tips or tricks for first date outfits?
I
Not
mean,
what you're here for, but you know, you look gorgeous. So I'll take any recommendations you
in
say.
general or for the Garden?
In general. Like let's say dinner. Let's go back to dinner.
I mean, I wouldn't wear heels because I usually have more than one drink and I just want to have the odds be in my favor.
Whereas I probably would wear heels because I normally do. But even like a heeled booty, I feel like you can't go wrong with that.
Or a wedge.
Yeah.
It depends. I mean, if you're going to somewhere fancy for dinner, I would say dress to the occasion, but not too
don't
go over the top.
You don't need to try. Like, that's the thing. It's like,
But just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Yeah.
It's so cliche, but it's true.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay, so now I want to move on to sort of the next segment here. Okay. You girls have been very active on TikTok. I'm obsessed with them. You make me laugh, and also I get some great information from you. But one of the things that I saw you do was this what she says versus what she really means. Mm-hmm. So this is for the men in a relationship, trying to date, going on a date, have no clue about women whatsoever. We are going to give you our secrets so that you can start to read between the lines and do better.
Just want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to help.
That's what we're here for.
Okay, so rapid fire. I'm not hungry. What do I really mean?
She's hungry. She's really
starving.
hungry.
Get her food.
Now.
Yeah, like, I don't want fries at McDonald's. You better come home with fries.
Mm-hmm. Read her mind.
I'm fine.
Probably not fine.
She's probably the furthest thing
Ask
from fine.
her, what is going on? How can I be there?
And if she tells you nothing, ask again.
Yeah, she's just waiting for you to ask her 47 times first, and then she'll finally
Maybe she
do it.
wants food.
Please see question 1. She's hungry. Okay, I don't really care where we go. We can do whatever you want.
She cares.
She cares, but she would also hope that by now you know where she wants to go.
Or even if it's in the beginning and she says that, she probably still cares, but is hoping that you'll take the initiative to actually find somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say
some
that.
Effort in.
Yeah.
A little effort.
You got to put a little effort.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always like, I don't care. And I really don't. Like, I'm not super high maintenance, but I'm saying that because I'm deflecting. I want you to be the one to figure it out.
Yeah. Or at least give an option for me to, like,
throw a couple things out.
Talk about.
Yeah. I went on a date with a guy maybe like a month ago, and we were trying to meet in the middle somewhere, and he was like, here's 3 options. Like, which one sounds best to you? Or like, have you not been to one of these before?
I love that.
Hello.
Simple.
Perfect. A+.
I love
you passed the assignment. I love that because it shows that he like looked into it. He's trying, but he also wants me to participate and wants to make sure that I'm cool with it and I'm okay with it.
That's how you win a girl. Like you let her choose, but you're giving her options.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're into that. We love that.
Love options.
We love options. Just not too many because then I get overwhelmed.
Oh, not too many. You better not.
3 was a good number.
3 was a good number. Not anything more than that.
Yeah. Okay. And last but not least, when you get a K.
Ooh, that's the worst letter you can get.
She mad.
She's mad.
She's real mad.
Run for the hills.
Or refer back to the question you asked before that.
True.
Maybe think about how you answered.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between a K versus K period?
Yes.
You knew? Before I even finished the question, you already knew.
Like, I feel like K is like almost like less risk. Like, you're like, K, like, I don't really care how he sees it. Mm-hmm. K period is like, I want you to know how mad I am.
Right.
Like, this is definitive.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely.
But also speak your mind.
Yeah.
From girls' perspective.
Okay. Let's flip the tables. Okay. How could we do better? Instead of expecting them to be
I've
psychics.
been guilty. I think we've all probably been guilty
We've
of
all
this.
sent a novel. Some of us have written a novel.
You either
what do you
a
think
novel
about
or
novels?
Should
we get rid of them in 2022?
Personally, yes. The novel.
No, you can say the novel. Say it in real life. Don't text the novel. Say it.
I like that.
Say it.
Okay.
But with the K, it's like, depending on what the situation is, you just kind of gotta maybe just speak your mind rather than being passive and just saying K.
Yeah.
I haven't K'd anyone in a while. I think it's been a year.
I haven't either, luckily.
I just don't have the energy for a K.
Yeah.
Like I'm very much a vocal person.
See,
like I don't want you probing me. Yeah. I want to just tell you what's up and leave it at that.
See, now I'm like, I'm not even a K person. I'm just
no answer.
No, just nothing.
Right.
I don't even have time to
Because
explain
the
it
K
to
is to prove
you.
a point. It's to be like.
But saying nothing proves the biggest point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Words are loud, actions are
Just dropped
louder.
a truth bomb.
But sometimes
Mic drop.
neither are necessary for you to make your point.
Wait, say that again?
Words are loud, actions are louder, but sometimes neither are necessary to make your point.
Cheers to that.
Wow, I wish we had some champagne to toast to with that. That is so true. Speaking of which, Miss Alyssa, you are quite the wordsmith.
Yes, that was written by Alyssa original.
Yes. Wait, so in addition to Hoots and Cahoots, you have been writing a lot and for a while now.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I just, I'm a very expressive person, right, Ayla? Got a lot of thoughts.
Very expressive. It's incredible.
So yeah, I wrote a book, actually. It's called Put the Damn Phone Down. And now all I'm doing is on my phone for Hoots and Cahoots. So, yeah, don't tell my agent. But, for me, writing has been the ultimate, release. And for me to, understand my own feelings and to help other people and to connect with other people. I think it's the ultimate way to actually, learn through all the crazy things that happened in my 20s. And now I think I've seen a lot of the stuff you've put out there about, being in your 30s. And, it's just, you're just so much more confident in yourself and you just don't sweat the small stuff, and it's so great. And for me, writing, it's really great to look back on stuff I wrote when I was in my early 20s, when I let a guy kind of let me see my worth and didn't think so great about myself, and I've just evolved so much from that. So it's really cool to look back at the writing that I had, because I knew what I was feeling then, to see how far I've come. But
that's super neat.
I'm
glad that you keep it. I'm glad because some people it's more of just an outlet to sort of get it out of your head. Yeah. But I love that you go back and reference it and see, oh man, I can't believe I ever even had those thoughts.
Well, sometimes it's just releasing that actually gives the feelings so much less power.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hold on to so much, and it's different for everybody. However you want to express yourself or whatever outlet you have. For me, writing makes it have less power in my head. It's the way to kind of let go, move on, and accept it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Do you have any little extra hobbies, Miss Ayla?
She edits some of my writing. You edit some of my writing sometimes.
Oh,
sometimes.
You're the copywriter. She's the proofreader. I love it.
Yep.
Talk about greatest hits.
Yeah. So I recently started at a new company called Greatest Hits Cannabis Company.
Love that.
As their visual merchandising director, and
Very
we'll be
cool.
opening in about a week or so. So
That's so
been
exciting.
Super exciting. We're combining, the aspect of music and cannabis because they go hand in hand.
They sure do.
And you're not really seeing any of that around here right now.
Yeah.
It's all more medical and health driven, which we're still focused on the health aspect, but I think there's a gap in the market there as well that we're hoping to really fill, especially in Massachusetts and potentially other states as well.
Heck yeah. Okay, very cool.
So that's
very
been
cool.
exciting.
I want to play a round of red flag or deal breaker.
Okay.
Are you up for it?
Always up for it.
I used to love those red flags. Now I run away.
Yeah.
I used to embrace them and I'll fix you.
Oh my
A
god.
little sketchy.
Well, that's the part of getting older. It's just
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have time.
No, it's for me now.
We
Yeah.
ain't got time for that.
No.
Okay, let's do it. So, red flag or deal breaker. He doesn't get you a card with your birthday present. Think he's your boyfriend.
Okay. I would say that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Ayla knows how much I love cards.
And I love cards too.
Yeah.
I think it would be something, say it was your first birthday that you've had since you've been dating and he didn't get you a card, you were upset, maybe vocalize that. So
Yeah.
he might just not know.
He might just not
He
know.
didn't grow up getting cards
Yeah.
for his birthday and he's very thrown off with this. Then
Yeah,
I think.
and guys, no offense, Hurley, but guys are kind of stupid and they just don't know.
He nods his head in agreement.
And
gotta
that's
give
what
them
we're
a
here
chance.
for.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta give them a chance to redeem themselves. But I think for girls, and maybe I'm assuming too much, but a card is more meaningful than a present.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's
Totally.
the opportunity to actually show I actually do care and I actually have the thought to write down something that's meaningful
Yeah.
to share with you.
Cards are huge for me because I think girls we're always saying how we feel. I mean, unless we're being stubborn and sending a K, which hopefully we're moving away from. But for the most part, I think we're really in touch with our emotions and our feelings, and guys not so much, and that's okay. But to like what you guys were saying is this is a time to do that, right? Like, and maybe their gift is already super, super thoughtful and there's just not a words guy, but the card goes a long way.
And hey, ask her friend. If you really don't know, ask her friend.
Yeah.
More guys need to do that.
I know.
Really
they're just afraid their friends are going to tell them, and that's why they don't do it. She won't keep the secret. Okay. He asks if his buddy can join when you thought that you were going on a date.
That's a red flag, not necessarily a deal breaker. That actually happened. That happened
really?
to me with somebody that I was going on a date with, and then the day of, he invited you and Ayla's boyfriend, and I was like, oh, and it actually turned out to probably be a red flag down the line because it didn't work out. But I think also it can be a good thing because they might want you to like get to know their friends. So it depends on which date it is.
Yeah. I'm not mad about the like double date situations, like kind of last minute saying.
Advance, I feel like. If it's last minute, it's more like,
Are you thinking this is like first date, like second date?
I'm thinking it's like maybe it could be, well, probably not first date because I think first date would just be a deal breaker. I'd be like, that's weird. But if, I went out with him once or twice and then we say we have plans for a Thursday night and I think we're going out and then it's like he drops the, oh, well, me and my buddies are here if you want to meet us. Like, that would be a concern for me. A double date, I'm all about. Cool, more the merrier. But then don't make me feel like I'm tagging along and interrupting your plans.
Well, I think there's a difference between if, like, you meet up with him and then you go meet his friends. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
If it's, like, he's asking you to meet him already out, then it's, like...
When you thought you were going on a date.
When you thought you were going on a date, then that's, like, it's a red flag. Like, not necessarily a deal breaker, but... probably a deal breaker.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many different ways to look at it, right? Like, oh, he's cool with me meeting his friends and maybe he likes me. Maybe this is going well. Or it's like, I can't bear to spend another minute.
I feel like sometimes guys will do that because they just want it to be like casual.
Yeah.
It seems a little immature.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Immature.
Okay. We kind of talked about this already. We did. But the true test, red flag or deal breaker, he defers to you when making plans.
Deal breaker.
Red flag, but if it keeps happening, then you can't put it all on us.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking more of like guys are just like, I don't know what to do. Like there was this one guy I dated and like for the life of him, he could not make a decision. And it was so infuriating. And it was like during COVID, so it was like even a weirder time. And I was just so infuriating. And I let it go on for like a number of weeks. And then I was just like, wait, we've been on all these dates and I've chosen every place we've gotten food from, every movie we've watched, everything we've done. And then I was like, can you just make a decision? And he couldn't. So it can be infuriating.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's a lot of extra work.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel like, am I the only one that cares about this?
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to put a little bit of...
Gonna meet
Especially in the beginning, dating should be easy. Like,
Yeah.
it shouldn't...
It's gonna get hard.
It should be fun. It should be easy. Times will get tough at times, but make it fun, make it easy. There has to be that balance.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, let's see. He mentions that he's taken his ex to the same place while you two are currently out to dinner there.
Deal
breaker. Any guy that talks about their ex is not over their ex. And any girl that talks about their ex isn't over, which I've done. I've done that before. I've talked about an ex. There was a guy I was on a date with in the seaport. And he said something, and I like brought up someone else, and like he knew that I wasn't like I was not ready to date anyone else, and I was just.
He's like, oh, when did you guys break up? You're like, last week.
Anyone that talks about their ex is not over their ex.
Yeah, I just think it's inappropriate, and maybe people are trying to make it not so taboo, but like, why would you mention her right now, right? Like, why do we need to have that discussion right now? Like, I don't even think that in relationships we should be talking about our exes. Like, I want to know, have you had a serious relationship before or not? But I don't need to know the details. I don't know why we're doing that.
Well, I think sometimes people, when like you want to talk about an ex so bad and your friends are like sick of you talking about it, so you have nobody else to talk to about it. So sometimes I think people are on a date and they're like, oh, I can talk to this person about it. Yeah. So like they're just like releasing it. Yeah. Exactly. And if you have bad things to say, therapy. I feel like that's always a bad thing too. If they're like, my ex was crazy, and don't have to talk bad, like even if it's true.
We're the biggest advocates for therapy, and I think that's a sign. You should.
We're both in therapy. That's the reason.
Call your psychologist immediately.
Or, get a therapist. Talk to them about this. You don't need to go on a date and start talking to your date about your ex.
I completely agree. Yeah. You guys crack me up.
Don't project your trauma onto women or whoever you're dating.
Yeah, I know. It's like that person that keeps constantly talking about how over their ex they are. Yeah. It's a surefire sign. You're clearly not. No. Clearly not. No. Okay, if he is a picky eater.
Yeah, we laughed at this one because originally I was going to be like, maybe it's an allergy thing, but we had
kind of it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
We both love
the chicken
to
parm
eat.
Story.
Tell me, what is this chicken parm story?
There was a guy that she was just talking to, and they were just going to make dinner once, and he was
I threw a few options out there, and he's like, well, what about chicken parm? Like, that was not on the menu.
Yeah, like, she gave so many options. He's like, I like chicken parm.
Only. That's it.
You're like, I listed 7 things off for you, and you're upset.
I'm like, nope, that's it. Thank you, next.
I know. I think it's okay if there's just like a couple of things in general that you don't like. Yeah. But if the list of things that you do like is very small, that's annoying.
Yeah, like we love going out to eat together. It was like sharing. So like if like we're in a relationship with somebody, like we want to share with them too. So like there's been guys that I've dated that are like, I hate seafood and I hate sushi. And I'm sorry, it's not going to ever work out. Like, I'll do this for a little bit, but, like, if you don't like sushi or seafood, it's never going to work out.
I know.
One of the many reasons why I love my boyfriend is he will literally eat anything, and I can order whatever I want. For us, like, he's a machine. Normally who will order.
Or he's a garbage disposal.
What did you call him?
Garbage disposal.
No, before.
Machine.
Oh, a machine.
He loves to eat, and it's amazing because then I can go, and I love... One of my favorite things to do, I think, is to order at a restaurant, and we'll share everything, and it works out. You can't do that with a picky eater.
Yeah, no.
Her boyfriend had the nachos at Sissy K's, and I was like, all right, he can handle anything.
That's when I knew he was a keeper.
That's what I knew, too.
Anything at Sissy K's is definitely radioactive.
Oh, yeah.
Very questionable.
Oh, yeah. And he had nachos.
Wow, I have not been there in so long. I don't plan to go back ever again, but I used to have some wild nights. Wild nights.
Did you sing karaoke?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah. I think we all did.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Earth, Wind, and Fire, September.
She came ready.
I actually just did it a couple weeks ago, so that's why at a Cape bar.
I don't remember the last time I did karaoke.
I was going to say, I'm trying to picture Ayla doing karaoke, and the visual's not coming to me.
Give me a couple tequila sodas, and you never know. What will happen.
Okay, love it. I think that is all my red flag or deal breaker, but I'm having such a good time. I have a couple more questions that are a little unrelated. Yeah. Since we've been talking a little bit about relationships and dating, what would be your recommendation to someone who is recently going through a breakup?
Stop looking at their social media. Do not look I think for some people that are trying to move on from someone, they it's so hard to disconnect these days. And even if you think it's really not hurting you, it is. It's like you think you're actually seeing them. It's like we do with famous people. We think we know them. We think we're in touch with them. Yeah. And we're not. So if you're really trying to move on from someone, you have to just break the connection. You have to have the space to actually move on.
Yeah.
I think take time for yourself. Besides disconnecting from social media, really take that time, whether that's you get a therapist, you spend time with your girlfriends, but you really do that deeper work to actually move on, not just, or go on dates right after and start dating other people, but don't talk to them about your ex.
Yeah.
But do the deeper work so when you do find that person, you can actually show up as your best self.
Okay, sub-question. With social media, I feel like the unfollow is petty. Is it petty? I'm a big fan of the mute button.
A mute. I love the mute.
I love a mute button.
I'm not an unfollower.
I have everyone muted on my timeline right now, pretty much. That's how I did it because I didn't want to. I agree with you.
Her whole following list is just muted. There's nothing.
There's not much
refresh
content
feed and nothing pops up.
Everything between 3 people and like dachshund accounts. That's all I have on my
I'm
feed.
obsessed with that. Yeah, I just think the unfollow is it's too much.
It is.
But
And
I
hate
also
when someone unfollows me,
understand
too. Like I've had that happen.
Ooh.
Like that like hurts my feelings when they unfollow me.
Yeah.
But
I understand the temptation to still like look, because if I have you muted, I can still go to your page, but I think it's one of those things that sort of just helps it become a little bit more out of sight, out of mind, you know, rather than it just popping up unannounced when you're having a good day or you're not thinking of them. Yeah. I think a mute is the better way to go, but only if you can stay disciplined. If you're just going to keep going and looking, being proactive about it,
that's what I would say.
Unfollow.
If you go still look, even though they're muted, that's when you know you got to unfollow or block, whatever you have to do to move on, because it's like you're still connected. It's like you're holding on for dear life to that like last bit of connection.
And then they're posting stories and showing things that it's just, you're going down the rabbit hole.
Oh my God. Is there anything worse when he's just living his life, having the best time ever?
Is that in the background?
Oh my God. Rewatch.
Well, then you just need to go live your best life and show him.
Oh, well, of course we are, but we want him to be miserable. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I just want him to cry about it a little bit longer. Yeah. Until
it's funny.
I have a boyfriend.
Guys aren't even about like social media. Like a lot of them, like
they say they're not, but
some are.
I don't know. I feel like
guys they're stealth, man. I guarantee they have the majority of the thoughts that we do.
Yeah.
We just act on them. Yeah. We just can't keep our mouths shut. I feel like guys just can play a better game. They can.
Yeah, it all depends.
Hurley, what do you think?
I can't reveal our secrets.
We have spent 46 minutes fucking helping you out, and you're not going to answer our goddamn question.
Well, you just said that we're stealthy. So why would I tell you?
They have feelings too.
No, you're true. You're accurate.
Forget you. I'm over you.
I just told you you're right.
Yeah, because I had
That's a correct statement.
Thank you. Okay. Anyway, well, then my last question before we start to close this out is how much research are we doing on our men before we go on the first date? Are you a believer in putting your FBI cap on? Do you like to learn about his third aunt Becky and their divorce and his trip to Hawaii in 2007? Or like, do you want to go in blind?
You should. I think differently because I had a recent experience that is making me think differently. I would say look at nothing. I also went on a date recently. Go on a lot of first dates. No seconds. But this guy was like, oh, like I walked in and the guy's like.
That's not true.
Some seconds, not a third.
She's funny though.
But this guy's like, I walk in and the guy's like, I looked you up. You wrote a book, put the damn phone down. And I was like, it wasn't flattering. It was creepy. So I would say not to look. However, I was going on a date with a guy last week, and I started to get some...
a lot of date. Are you on dating apps? How are you meeting
no
these
more.
People?
Deleted them after last week.
Okay.
No more. So last week I was like going on a date with this guy, and the day of, he was kind of, the texting was getting a little weird, whatever. Sent a group, sent it to my friends. I'm like, this guy is like kind of creeping me out, whatever. He's asking a lot of questions about what we're going to do after the date if it goes well. I'm like, is he just being awkward and he's just a weird guy? Turns out my friend's friend went on a date with him like 2 weeks before, and then sent a lot of inappropriate follow-up text messages and photos and just like real bad stuff. So I was like, thank God that I did this so that I didn't go on this date. So I don't know.
Are you referring to an unsolicited dick pic?
Yes.
You guys, you gotta stop doing that.
You gotta stop doing it.
You gotta quit it.
We don't want it.
Never
wants dick pics.
in the history of ever has that been requested.
Never. Nobody wants it. So I don't know. I think talk to your friends maybe, like show him around to make sure he hasn't sent anyone any dick pics. Yeah. But don't research. Don't go out. Don't try to find where he went on vacation last year. Like, Also, even when you start dating, don't look. Like, those are the fun things to find out, to get to know each other, and to actually have him tell you about that trip in Hawaii in 2009. Like, you want to hear it from his perspective. Yeah. So don't go rushing for it. It's going to all come with due time, or it's not, and it's not going to work out.
I agree. I feel like I used to be a big investigator. I've stepped away from it as of late. I like to just learn about you in real time. I still think that if there's anything I needed to know about you, I will find it, and I could find it, but I don't need to. I want to make my own assessment of you, and then if you give me like a pause or you make me concerned in any way, then maybe we'll do a background check, you know?
Yeah.
But I think like off the bat, let's just like trust and go into it optimistically. I had a guy that I went on a date with, and he on the first date, he told me he had listened to like 7 episodes of the podcast, and previously we did episodes on astrology, and I had said that all of my exes were Libras, and he was like, I'm a Libra, is that going to be a problem for you? And I was like, no, but the stalking my podcast is. Thank you. Get to know me in real life first.
Yeah. No, but like also like I will say like sometimes it's good to like see on social media if you're like gonna go on a date with somebody, to see if they know anybody that you've already gone on a date with or hung out with. Because I've run into that a couple times where it didn't work out because they knew somebody that I was going on a date with or whatever.
Good to know. Okay. Well, to sort of close this out, I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say thank you for your very, very hard work, your selfless work that you ladies do. It is so nice to be able to have a resource like this. I think for everybody in the area, but truly, I have been in this situation for a while now where I'm like, I just don't know what is age appropriate where I can still have fun. And it is so nice being able to go through these lists with you girls and have some new names and new places to try out. It gets me excited. It makes me want to come to the city more. So when you started to do this, I'm sure it was a little bit of a leap of faith for you. I'm sure is it a good thing to work with friends, to get into this with friends? I'm sure there's a lot of things that sort of crossed your mind about just even the time that it takes. So for anyone listening at home who is interested in potentially creating any sort of platform or working with a friend of theirs, do you have any sort of advice for them on that?
Yeah, I would say one of the main things that Alyssa's taught me is really to be vulnerable, and you can't care about what other people think.
Wow.
That's a good friend. You look at TikTok, and it looks like everyone, not everyone, but people are so professional, and you're like, people are going to judge me. What's this person going to say? What's that person going to say? And at the end of the day, who the fuck cares?
Amen.
Like, it doesn't matter. There's so much content out there, and the people that are judging are mainly the people that aren't putting content out there.
Yeah.
So true. It's so true.
No, it really is. And
also, it takes no effort to judge someone that's actually taking an hour to do, like, to create something. Do you know what I mean? It takes 1 second to like have an opinion, but it like the work that we put in, it is immeasurable.
It's work. Like content and going out to eat a lot.
They're packing the pounds on for you guys, okay?
We really
like
are.
I said, selfless work.
That work.
And just do it. Like, touch it every single day. If there's a book you want to write, if there's a podcast you want to start, if there's any sort of creative project, talk about it. Touch it every single day. Even if you're just writing a page down or talking about one idea or making one video. Like, we try and talk about this every day, but we've also been talking about this for years.
Years. We had been talking for so long about what can we do? What's this idea?
We didn't know what it was.
We didn't know. There were a lot of ideas, millions of ideas, I feel like, in the past 15 years that had come out. But then we're like, let's just give it a shot. We have, at the end of the day, we have nothing to lose, and we're just trying to help people.
Yeah. And we're just trying to connect with people,
Connect and give people, the good ideas where to go eat.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you did. And then I think to kind of bring this all together, final pieces of advice. Ayla, I'm going to go to you first on maintaining a healthy relationship at this age.
So I think communication is key. Open communication. Be honest. Be yourself. Be vulnerable in your relationship. And have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I know. I think that's the best piece of advice is, like, in a relationship, remember to date and, like, flirt and keep it fun and just don't get so... I mean, what do I know? I'm single. So actually, fuck it. Pretend I didn't
people
say
know
anything.
nothing. Relationship people know everything.
No,
they're happiest.
That's not true. Learn something new every day.
And then Alyssa, help a sister out.
Yes.
What is your advice for dating in your 30s?
You know, I think it's honestly, dating in your 30s is, you should be grateful for it. Like, I'm grateful for it. You have your shit figured out. Like, you know what you want. You're not going to put up with the crap that you might have put up when you weren't as sure as yourself. So I think you actually have a better chance of finding a long-term relationship by starting out in your 30s when you actually figured all your shit out that you didn't have figured out in your early 20s. And I think that you can't take everything personal. Ayla is the one that taught me that. You know, if somebody doesn't like you, or if somebody doesn't, or rejects you, or doesn't want to see you anymore, it doesn't work out, it's not always about you. It's mostly always going to be about them. Or maybe it's just a compatibility thing. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. So just don't let the rejection of someone else turn into you rejecting yourself.
I think one other thing, too, just to touch on is
so now the single one, I mean, the one in the relationship's going to give the single one advice.
No,
like, I was giving the relationship advice while I'm single. Or I like it. I like
this
it.
goes to even if you're single in a relationship, deal with anything, like your trauma yourself.
Yes.
Because you can't show up in your relationship as your best self until you do that. Childhood trauma carries with you forever, or any trauma for that matter. And I think it's such a critical piece in dating that a lot of people kind of take for granted and carry with them, and the relationship doesn't work out, and it wasn't because of the other person, it was because of their own shit.
Yeah, that undealt with stuff, I mean, that's like our attachment style. It's how we respond to things, react, it's how we communicate, it's everything. And I think it's so easy to be like, oh, it's that other person's fault, but a lot of times it's actually our fault, and like we're the problem. And so if we're not addressing that stuff and fixing it first, it's gonna come back to haunt you.
Yeah, and just show up.
I mean to sound like an e-card, but, you know, instead of saying, like, why is this happening to me? Like, constantly say, why is this happening? Why am I not in a relationship, for the single people? Like, how am I going to learn and grow from this? Like, every single scenario that happens to you that isn't the outcome that you want, learn from it. There's something you can learn from every single situation that happens to you. So instead of complaining about, like, why the hell is this happening to me, always ask yourself, rephrase it to, how am I going to learn and grow from this?
I like that. You're like my little fortune cookie over there.
She really is.
Well, you girls have been so much fun. I really don't want this to stop.
I know.
I'm really enjoying this. This was super, super enlightening, and you've really got me all excited. I'm so grateful for you guys coming on and taking the time to do this. I know everyone at home will be too. One more time, if you guys are going to follow the girls on Instagram, it's at Hoots in Cahoots. But do you want to share your personal Instagrams as well? Alyssa, what's yours?
Yeah, mine's at Alyssa Lynn Momquist, or you can find my writing account at Written by Alyssa.
Perfect. And Ayla?
And mine is Ayla_G.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys at home so much for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.